Hello, Professor Jakovich here again, and now we're going to talk about annuities. We are going to talk about the future value of an ordinary annuity and also the future value of an annuity due. Here on your screen, we are looking at what the difference is between the two annuity types. An ordinary annuity means that the payments occur at the end of the period. We're looking at 2 4-year annuities, and ordinary means end of the period. This is for when you invest your money right here in the present value and it earns interest over time, and then you receive that interest payment there, and then it sits there and earns some more interest, and you get that interest payment at the end of the time. That's a good example of an ordinary annuity. An annuity due is for things like, let's say you're a landlord and you rent out properties. You insist on getting the money at the beginning of the period. You don't let them live there for a month and then you collect the rent. No, they pay the rent up front. That is an annuity due. So the payment comes right here at the beginning of the first period, which is the present, which is time 0. That's an annuity due. So the same 4 payments as up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it shifted back to the beginning of the period, and there isn't one here because this is the beginning of this period. So you still have the same amount of payments and the same amount of periods, but just the timing of the payment is different. So the top one is an ordinary annuity, also just called an annuity. And then there is an annuity due. We will not be working with very many annuity dues in this course. Mostly we're talking about investments, so we work with ordinary annuities. If it doesn't specify, it's an ordinary annuity. So let's work a problem here. We have, I'll make this a little bit bigger. Oops, not that big. Okay, we have what is the future value of a 4-year annuity of $10,000 per year, and it earns 11.75%, a very odd amount, but easy if you use Excel to deal with. So we want to find the future value of a 4-year annuity. Normal annuity, it doesn't say ordinary annuity, but it is an ordinary annuity. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use this first column and just solve for it. So what is the present value of a 4-year annuity? Right now, we don't have a present value. We have nothing. We just have $10,000 a year. It looks like, let me draw it. One, two, three, 4. It looks like a payment of $10,000 here, I'll just say 10K, and here. So present value, there's nothing going on with an ordinary annuity. So our present value is 0. Let's put a 0 there. Our future value, well, that's what we're trying to solve for, is what will it be worth right here when we get our very last payment? What is our rate? It is 11.75%. Just as easy as if it were a simple 2% or 12%. You just type it in. Number of periods is 4. Payment is 10,000. Now, we have to decide, because it doesn't say, if we are investing 10,000 or receiving it? Well, honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to figure out the future value of something you're taking money out of, because it's probably going to be zero at the end. You took all the money out. So let's say we're putting in $10,000 here, 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 and here, and we want to know what all that will be worth at the end of the period. That's a valid thing to solve for. So this payment of $10,000 is a positive $10,000. Now, what type is it? Well, an ordinary annuity is type equals 0. So we put in a 0. Now, a good way to remember that is the O in ordinary looks like a 0. So O and 0 go together. So here's our numbers. And once again, just like with single amounts, same formula. But we just say we equals future value, open parenthesis, and Excel will tell us what to put in. The rate, I'm just going to click on it. The rate is 11.75%, comma, number of periods, 4, comma, payment, 10,000, comma, present value is 0, comma, and type, 0, and close parenthesis, boom. I will have put in a total of $40,000, but at 11.75%, that amount has increased to $47,618.47. Now this last 10K on an ordinary goes in, and then we just say what's it worth. So it didn't have time to grow. So actually what we're seeing is this $7,318.47 is the growth from this one growing, this $10,000 growing for 1, 2, 3 periods, this one growing for 2 periods, and this last one growing for 1. It equated to that. So now let's change things. The exact same problem, but now it's an annuity due, which means this 10,000, let me change it. We actually have 10, how do I do that? Let's see. Ink. Now we have 10,000 going in right here. And we don't have this last one. An annuity due means we have these 4 payments. So let's solve for that. Again, the present value is 0. Why? Because this $10,000 at time 0 is part of the payments. It is part of the annuity. It's only if you have a separate chunk. If I had like $37,000 sitting right here, and then I put in $10,000, that I would have a present value. So present value is still 0. Future value, still what we're trying to solve for. Rate, still 11.75%. Number of periods, still 4. Payment, still 10,000, but type switches to 1. Now, I'm going to double click on this and you'll see all of this. But where it says E52, this type 152, this type equals 0, I'm going to replace that with G152, which is where my 1 is. Hit enter and look at that. The amount changes. If I hit back, it's 47,000 for the annuity, but it's 53,000 for the annuity due. Why? Because instead of 3 payments earning money till the end, I now have all 4 payments earning money to the end. So it's worth a lot more to pay sooner. That's part of the time value of money. We let these grow for longer, and time is on our side for growth. So that is how to solve for the future value of 2 different types of annuity.